3 things that you've got to do with your driver to hit it better, and it's not going to be the normal tips that we see. These ones are all about what we've got to do during our swing. Now, obviously we should know how we should be setting up for a driver. If you don't, check out the other videos on my page. But 3 things that we must do to make sure that we're hitting good drivers as we're going through our driver swing. Number 1, we want to try and create some width. A lot of players that I see out on the golf course or down at the driving range, you think, oh, great, got my driver out, I'm going to smash the living hell out of it. They stand to the golf ball and they just pick their arms up and try and swing them dead quick, causing a narrow arc of their golf swing. That isn't going to create a lot of speed for you. We need to get a big, wide arc, as wide as possible, that we're physically capable of to create some good clubhead speed. So what I want you to try and do in your takeaway as you're going through, think about your lead arm. So for me as a right-handed golfer, my left arm. As I take this club away now, my driver, I'm in a good setup. What I want to try and do is feel like it's stretching as far as it can away from my sternum. So I don't pick it up here. We can see it's coming in close. Not going to create a wide arc and lots of speed. What I want to do is feel that as I take it away, I turn everything, but I create this nice wide stretch. So we can see here, I've not hinged my wrist yet, and I've got loads of distance from here to here. I've not picked it up. I create this nice takeaway where I feel stretch from there. Then as I turn up, I've got a really wide arc, allowing me to create loads of speed. Let's just rip one off like that. Not a bad drive that, dead straight. And a pretty good distance. Okay, tip number 2 that we've got to make sure that we are doing when we hit our driver. A lot of, probably 70% of players that I coach, when they start to come to me for lessons, are hitting down on their drivers. So if we think about this, if you come down close here for me, if I've got my ball pegged up here, and we think of this as the journey that the driver would take into the golf ball, I don't want to see it coming down like this and then hitting down underneath the golf ball. We can see that the ball's going to get the roof of the driver. That's where we get those horrible sky marks. It's going to lose distance. We want the opposite. I want it to look like this. So as it's coming in, I would see that the club approaches on the up. And if this obviously wasn't here, I'd get it out of the centre now, and I would hit up on the golf ball, allowing me to project it into the air and see that I would get a good strike, get the upward angle of attack, and I would launch that golf ball. Don't see that as you're coming into impact, you feel like you're either hitting the ground, you're snapping loads of tees. Those are signs that you haven't got an attack angle that is on the up. Even if you put something like this out in front of you, your head cover or something like so, just a couple of feet in front there, it's now created a visual for me that I want to swing into the golf ball and ascend over it. If I swing down and hit the golf ball, chances are I would probably still clatter this little foam box here. So tip number 2, make sure we're trying to hit it on the up. Real simple drill there, something out in front of you, making sure we've got a good tilt. I know I'm going to get a wide arc and I'm going to feel like I'm hitting it on the up. Not a bad little drive, not as good as my first one, and there was one reason for that, and that is tip number 3. Every pro we watch on television, whether they're swinging it the quickest on tour or even if they're not the quickest on tour, they all have balance. That swing that I made then, you may have noticed I actually fell out of my finishing posture. And that is because I lacked balance. And what that did, if you come in here, look where I've struck it. You can see just a little dimple marks there, as where my previous one was right up out of the top of the face. So making sure we've got balance. Like I say, you watch someone like Rory McIlroy, who is swinging the club at tremendous speeds. Even Bryson DeChambeau at those speeds he's swinging at now. Yes, he spins out, but he still remains in a good controlled finish. He actually looks like he's in control of the speed he's created. If you're stood there trying to hit it as hard as you physically can and you're spinning out, we see things where we're falling around on the tee, we're not in a balanced position, the chances of you delivering the middle of the golf club back to the golf ball are very, very limited. So make sure as we take our good posture, we create that wide swing, we try and hit up on it. What I want you to try and do, and this is a great tip to take to the golf course without even practicing on the driving range, is that you would hit the golf ball, try and hold your finish until you see that golf ball come down. So, good setup, I'm going to film a wide takeaway, I'm going to hit up on the golf ball, and then from there I'm going to hold my finish until I see the ball down. And that's the best one that I've hit of this lesson. It's the furthest one as well. God, that's gone wildly long. And look at this, I'm in balance. Guys, three must-dos with your driver. Hope you've enjoyed it as well. Share it around with someone who struggles with their drivers. If you like this lesson as well, check out one of my other ones. See you in the next video.